Shalom, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all Akim, preaching his word in truth and sincerity and in faith. This is the brother Yeshaya from the GMS Plain Tables camp. And I just want to do a quick lesson on how brothers are supposed to be humble and to have humility. And for the definition of humility, it says a modest or low view of one's own importance. Yeah, so you're not supposed to view yourself as this great and awesome guy, because when you're not supposed to think too highly of yourself, because when you do that, you're basically taking the power in your own hands, saying you're doing it by your own will, by your own actions, and you're not glorifying the Most High. So real quick, I'm going to read the definition for preeminent. So for preeminent, it has having paramount rank, dignity, or importance. So yeah, you're not supposed to be, when you're in this truth, when you're in this faith, you're not supposed to be seeking to have a high rank or some position of importance. Like the apostle Gabar always says, a lot of guys that are in this truth, they're not being sincere. They're seeking some type of fame, whether it be YouTube fame, and they're seeking some kind of worldly glory. This is Romans chapter 12 verse 3. It says, "For I say through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think." Yeah, you're supposed to be, when it comes to how you perceive yourself, you're supposed to be humble and have humility. It says, "But to think soberly, according as the Most High hath dealt to every man the measure of faith." Yeah, so you're not supposed to be Mr. High and Mighty, think you're above everyone and everything. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 8 verse 1. It says, "Now as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth." And if you look up for the word for puffeth up, it's basically to make proud or to be proud. So yeah, so a guy may be knowledgeable in this word, he might have all the precepts, he might have a great understanding of history, whatever the case may be. It says knowledge puffeth up. Yeah, so you're not supposed to be made pride through the blessing, which is really a blessing from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. If you're able to understand precepts, you're able to pull out precepts real quickly, and you're able to have a good understanding of history, whatever the case may be. That's not supposed to make you proud. That's not supposed to puff you up. You're supposed to remain humble and have humility. This is Proverbs 16 and 18. It says, "Pride goeth before destruction, and in a haughty spirit before a fall." Yeah, so you're not supposed to be prideful. You're not supposed to be proud, because it says pride goeth before destruction. So if you're proud, the Most High is going to destroy. The Most High is going to destroy proud guys. And I looked up for the word haughty. For the word haughty has blatantly and disdainfully proud. So that's a guy that's basically arrogant. It says having or showing an attitude of superiority and contempt for people or things perceived to be inferior. Yeah, you're not supposed to be trying to act like you're superior to your brethren, the Akim around you. You're supposed to have a humble and meek spirit about you. This is James chapter 4 verse 6. It says, "But he giveth more grace, wherefore he saith, the Most High resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble." Yeah, so the Most High, if you in a proud spirit, you in that arrogant spirit, the Most High is going to resist you, and by resisting you, it basically means that the Most High is going to destroy you. It says, "But giveth grace unto the humble." Yeah, he's going to give that grace and that mercy to the humble, to the men that are humble. This is Luke chapter 14 verse 7. It says, "And he put forth a parable to those which were bidden, when he marked how they chose out the chief rooms, saying unto them, When thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest a more honorable man than thou be bidden of him. And he that bade thee and him come and say to thee, Give this man place, and thou begin with shame to take the lowest room." So yeah, that's what's gonna happen if you're constantly trying to seek out some type of rank, some type of importance in this truth, in this ministry, in this walk, the Most High is gonna basically abase you. If you're trying to sit in the highest room, the Most High gonna tell you to basically sit in the back. You trying to be Mr. You trying to be the face of the franchise. Verse 10, it says, but when thou art bidden, go and sit down in the lowest room, that when he that bade thee cometh, he may say unto thee, friend, go up hither. Then shalt thou have worship in the presence of them that sit at meat with thee. Yeah, so if you're in that humble spirit, you taking the low road, not trying to seek your own preeminence, trying to seek your own high rank. The Most High is gonna tell you to come in a higher seat. The Most High is gonna exalt you, basically. This verse 11, it says, for whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased. Yeah, so if you're constantly seeking to exalt yourself, trying to make yourself seem more important than you are, trying to basically be the leader, trying to force the issue of you being the leader and not just being humble, the Most High is going to abase you. It says, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. Yeah, so whoever humbleth, the men, which the elect, or all the elect are going to do that. They're going to humble themselves, which the Most High in turn is going to exalt them. It says, yeah, that was it. This is Proverbs chapter 25 verse 6. It says, put not forth thyself in the presence of the king, and stand not in the place of great men. Yeah, so again, reiterating what it said in Luke, that you're supposed to take the low seat. You're not supposed to seek the chief seat. For better it is that it be said unto thee, come up hither, than that thou shouldest be put lower in the presence of the prince whom thine eyes have seen. Yeah, so in Proverbs, Yahushua was basically saying the same exact thing which it said in Luke. In Proverbs, Yahushua was saying that in Luke. This is James 4:10. It says, humble yourselves in the sight of Yahweh, and he shall lift you up. Yeah, that's what's going to happen if you humble yourselves. The Most High is going to lift you up. He's going to give you basically all your heart's desire. You just have to humble yourself. You're not supposed to seek out your own glory. Yahushua said, because he didn't glorify himself, because he rather glorified the Most High, he glorified Yahweh, that the Most High in turn glorified him. So he wasn't seeking after his own glory. And us as followers of Yahushua, we're not supposed to seek after our own glory. We're supposed to seek to glorify the Most High, not to glorify ourselves. If you're trying to seek out that preeminence, you're trying to seek out that high rank, you're trying to glorify yourself. You're not trying to glorify Yahweh Shem Yahushua. This is Galatians 5 verse 26. It says, let us not be desirous of vain glory, provoking one another, envying one another. Yeah, so you're not supposed to be desirous of that vain glory. So glory from the Lord, glory in the eyes of men, is vain glory. It's worth nothing. It's not worth anything. And that's what a lot of guys are seeking, glory in the sight of men rather than glory in the sight of the Most High. That's why it says vain glory. And I looked up that definition for glory. It says high renown or honor won by notable achievements. Yeah, you're not supposed to seek that high renown or honor. You're supposed to seek the glory of the Most High, not your own glory. This is Psalms 84 verse 10. It says, for a day in thy courts is better than 1,000. I had rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my power than to dwell in the tents of wickedness. Yeah, so David was basically saying here that he'd rather be a doorkeeper. So he wasn't seeking out a high rank or a high position, because a doorkeeper is seen as someone that's not very important. But David was saying he's okay with that. He's okay with not having a high, not being somebody who's seen as important. And that's the same way the men of the Lord are supposed to be, the elect are supposed to be. You're not supposed to seek a high position, like I want to be second after Yahushua. You're supposed to just be like, as long as I'm accepted, as long as I'm a part of the elect, that's good enough for me. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 6. It says, and these things, brethren, I have in a figure transferred to myself and to Apollos for your sakes, that ye might learn in us not to think of men above that which is written, that no one of you be puffed up for one against another. It says, for who maketh thee to differ from another? And what hast thou that thou didst not receive? Now if thou did receive it, why dost thou glory as if thou hast not received it? Yeah, so everything, any skills, any strength, any capabilities that we have, we received it from the Most High. So you have nothing to brag or to boast about. Whatever that gift may be, we have nothing to glorify because we received it from the Most High. We didn't receive it from ourselves. It's not of our own doing. That you're a great speaker, a great teacher, that you're so knowledgeable, whatever the situation may be. You received it from Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. You didn't receive it from yourself. You didn't make yourself a great speaker or a great teacher or whatever the case may be. This is Jeremiah 9:23. Thus saith Yahweh, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might, let not the rich man glory in his riches. It says, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me. Yeah, so you're not supposed to glory in your own capabilities. You're supposed to glory in the fact that you know the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. You know his characteristics. You know what his likes and his dislikes are. That's what you're supposed to glory in. It says, that I am Yahweh, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith Yahweh. Yeah, so Yahweh, the Most High, he delights in us basically knowing him. And how do we know him? We know him through these scriptures. That's what you're supposed to glory in, not to glory in yourself. This is Numbers chapter 12 verse 1. It says, and Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. It says, and they said, hath Yahweh indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And Yahweh heard it. It says, now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. Yeah, so Moses, even though he was given the charge of leading all of the children of Israel, basically being like a king unto them, he was still meek, which synonym of that word meek is humble, to be humble. It says, and Yahweh spake suddenly unto Moses and unto Aaron and unto Miriam. It says, come out ye three unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. And Yahweh came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I Yahweh will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. It says, my servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. In the similitude of Yahweh shall he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? Yeah, so here it is. The Most High has set up Moses in a certain position that the Most High has set him up, basically to be a leader unto Israel. And Miriam and Aaron, they weren't respecting the position that he was placed in. They weren't satisfied or content with the position they were put in. They were seeking a higher position. They wanted to be equal to Moses. It says, and the anger of Yahweh was kindled against them, and he departed. It says, and the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. Yeah, so for them seeking out to become Moses' equal, seeking a higher rank, not being comfortable with the position that the Most High has set them in, and also with the position that the Most High has set Moses in. The Most High made Miriam leprous, basically as a punishment for her not playing her role. This is Numbers 16:1. It says, now Korah, the son of Izor, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men, and they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and Yahweh is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation. Yeah, so this dude Korah, he wasn't understanding. He was thinking that Moses and Aaron placed themselves in the position that they are, not understanding that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai placed them in the positions that they are. And he was seeking a position for himself, a higher position. It says, and when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face, and he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, even tomorrow Yahweh will show who are his, and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him whom he hath chosen will he cause to come near unto him. This do take ye census Korah and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before Yahweh tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom Yahweh doth choose, he shall be holy. Ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi. And Moses said unto Korah, hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi, seemeth it but a small thing unto you that the Most High of Israel has separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of Yahweh, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them? Yeah, so Moses was telling him that him being a Levite, because the Levites were in charge of basically doing the ministry, to minister, to do the work of the Most High. And Moses was telling him, like, why aren't you satisfied with the position that you're given? And he said, seemeth it but a small thing? Yeah, you should be grateful for the position that you're given, and not supposed to be seeking a higher position. It says, and he hath brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren the sons of Levi with thee, and seek ye the priesthood also, for which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against Yahweh. And what is Aaron that ye murmur against him? Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, we will not come up. Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of a land that floweth with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness? Except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us. Moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that floweth with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. It says, wilt thou put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up. Let me skip down a little bit. Verse 19, it says, and Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the glory of Yahweh appeared unto all the congregation. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. Yeah, so the Most High was about to destroy the whole, all the children of Israel besides Moses and Aaron. It says, and they fell upon their faces and said, O the Most High, the power of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation? And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the congregation, saying, get ye up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. Skip down to verse 28. It says, and Moses said, hereby ye shall know that Yahweh hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of mine own mind. Yeah, so Moses was saying, the Most High set me up, I didn't set myself up. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then Yahweh has not sent me. But if Yahweh make a new thing in the earth, open her mouth and swallow them up with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked Yahweh. Yeah, so that's what you're doing when you're that's what you're doing when you're seeking a higher position, when you're actively seeking a higher position than you got, and not being content, not being happy with the position that the Most High has placed you in. You should be happy that you even got, you should be happy that you're even on the team, you know. It says, and it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertain unto Korah, and all their goods. It says, they and all that appertain to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. Yeah, so for them seeking out that preeminence, you know, not being humble, not having humility, the Most High destroyed them for that. And the word for preeminent is having paramount rank, seeking that rank, seeking that importance. The Most High destroyed them for that. That's why it's important to have humility, a modest, which Moses had. He had humility. It says a modest or low view of one's own importance. So Lord willing, this video was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rahah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the Akim, preaching his word in truth and sincerity and in faith. Shalom.